How's it going, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? I am Average Joe, the Average Geek, and I am here once again with a Star Wars Rebel review. Another great episode this week. I'm kind of digging the two episodes back to back. I kind of feel like Rebels actually works really well with the hour-long kind of format. So yeah, we've gotten some really good arcs already in this season. Let's see, episodes 5 and 6 of Season 4 of Rebels dropped. Episode 5, The Occupation, and Episode 6, Flight of the Defender. There were some good things in this episode. Really good things. Let's see. Well, The Occupation, let's start there right now. So it started with the Rebel Alliance got information from a character that the Empire has a new version of the TIE Defender available. And they are going to be ramping up production soon, so the Rebel Alliance feels it would behoove themselves to figure something out about this new TIE Fighter and see what they can do to possibly stop it. And they look for volunteers. And this is when our band of intrepid heroes on the Ghost volunteer to head back to Lothal, back to where the series started, back to Ezra Bridger's homeworld, who is now a lieutenant commander in the Rebel Alliance, which is really cool. Yes, so, one of the really interesting things that Ezra says is that he's thought a long time about this, and that when he goes back to Lothal, he's going back to Lothal to stay and help his people. Is this possibly Ezra Bridger's exit strategy from the Star Wars mythos? At least the continuity of the Rebel Alliance into the films? Maybe. We'll find out, right? So our intrepid band of heroes travels to Lothal, and when they jump out of hyperspace, they notice that Lothal isn't the nice, green, peaceful, idyllic world it was before. It is now burned. The skies are dark. There are flames visible across the landscape from space. And there is a bunch of Star Destroyers in orbit of this world. And in an effort to break this blockade, they hook up with another character from Season 1 that we haven't seen in a hot minute. The Deveronian Sakatro Vizago. The pirate himself, and his shipment of puffer pigs that he wants to sell on the black market to kind of corner some money from that Calrissian character that we all know and love. You know, scoundrel type. You'll love him. All that's kind of backdrop to the real point of this episode is that Ezra Bridger has now come full circle. He has left his home world. He has gathered the skills from his old mentor and is now returned changed. It is the hero's journey. It is straight up Joseph Campbell, hero of 1,000 faces, the hero's journey, whole 9 yards, manifested in Lieutenant Commander Ezra Bridger. Really fun kind of stuff. And this moves into Flight of the Defender, where we get some cool tech. Tech has never been the focus of Star Wars as it is for other series like Star Trek and such. Star Wars is space fantasy as opposed to necessarily science fiction. But when we do get tech, it's awesome. And we know that the Empire has been working on the TIE Defender, and they have a new version of the TIE Defender they have dubbed the TIE Defender Elite. And it is on demonstration for the villain that we all love to hate, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Mithran Rondo himself. Now this new TIE Defender is faster, more powerful, stronger shields, faster hyperdrive. It is an upgrade in every possible way to the TIE Defenders before, and beyond a shadow of a doubt, the standard TIE Fighters and TIE Interceptors that the Empire has used against the Rebel Alliance and to pacify people all across the galaxy. Now we have to ask ourselves a very interesting question. How would the original trilogy time frame and that war against the Rebel Alliance, the Galactic Civil War, how different would it have been if the Empire funneled all their money into the not all their money, but a large more money into the TIE Defender program, as opposed to the Death Star, which nearly bankrupted the Empire? Very interesting kind of idea there, because the TIE Defender can fly circles around the X-Wing. It has shields. It has a hyperdrive. I mean, it is much more versatile than the TIE Fighters. So where the Empire focused on numbers, the Rebel Alliance goes, okay, we don't have the numbers of the Empire, but our ships are stronger, they last longer. If the TIE Defender program could have completely changed that, how would the war have ended differently? Of course, take apart the whole, Skywalker Chosen One aspect of the original series. And just look at the war from a strategic point of view. I maintain, or I posit, rather, that the Empire would have annihilated the Rebel Alliance much faster if they did not put all their eggs in one basket with the Fear Machine, the Death Star, and the Death Star 2. Interesting idea. Well, Rebel Alliance, they find the TIE Defender, they get their video, but that's not enough. They completed their mission, but it's not quite enough. So they go, what if we steal the flight recorder off of the Defender? So, and this is where the second episode really kind of kicks into gear. Sabine and Ezra go through. Sabine infiltrates the TIE Defender, yanks the flight recorder out of it, and ends up having to steal the TIE Defender and fly it off because, holy shit, Thrawn's on planet. You got to get the hell out of there. So this was a lot of fun. We see Ezra and Sabine flying the TIE Fighter and the TIE Defender, and we really see its maneuverability. It takes a lot of shots from a TIE Interceptor. And I think this is the first appearance of the TIE Interceptor in the timeline. We see them in Return of the Jedi in Force around the Death Star 2. But this is, I believe, now somebody please correct me down below if I'm wrong, but this is the first appearance of the TIE Interceptor, the faster version of the TIE Fighter, in canon, which is really, really cool. However, the TIE Defender still rips into shreds, flies circles around them, really showing how powerful the TIE Defender really is. The TIE Defender is no joke. If the Empire had put those into mass production, the original trilogy may have ended much, much, much differently. That's for sure. Well, the TIE Defender gets taken out by remote kill switch from Governor Price and Admiral Thrawn, forcing Ezra and Sabine to travel on their own. They need a way to get off the planet because Vizago is currently on lockdown with gravity locks outside of the main city of Lothal. So they yank the hyperdrive out of the TIE Defender in hopes of installing it into a U-Wing to get off planet. This is where things take a mystical turn. We know that Dave Filoni has a thing for wolves, and he finally got his space wolves in Star Wars. They're really cool. Known as the Loth Wolves, for all intents, for everything that we've seen, they are heavily connected with the Force. Ezra and Sabine, jump on the back of one after the Loth Wolf speaks the word sleep and puts Sabine to sleep. They load him up onto the back of the wolf and they ride off. And Ezra has a brief conversation with the wolf and going, why? Thank you, but why did you help us? And here's where things get interesting. The wolf growls out the word doom. D-U-M-E. For those fans of Star Wars and those that know Kanan Jarrus' back history, we know that Kanan Jarrus' real name is Caleb Doom. So, And that was pretty much the end of the episode. So we don't know where this is going to go. But there's these wolves are tied to the Force, and they know who Kanan Jarrus is. Now, this has led to some wild speculation that the wolves may be tied to Ahsoka Tano, who the last time we saw Ahsoka Tano was her deep in the Sith Temple on Malachor, having just survived a massive confrontation with her former master, Anakin Skywalker, now in the dark visage of Darth Vader. So, what's going on with these wolves? We don't know. Will it lead to Ahsoka Tano? We don't know. How does he know Kanan Jarrus' real name, Caleb New? We don't know. But I'm sure we're going to find out, and I cannot wait to get deeper into this story. Yeah, and that's my little review of this week's Star Wars Rebels. Really fun episodes. I love this show. I'm going to be sad to see it go, but I'm sure Dave Filoni and friends have something else in the pike for us in the future, and I cannot wait to see what's coming up next. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you disagree with everything I said, give the video a thumbs up. Please, by all means, hit that subscribe button. I bring weekly Rebel reviews. I have a Star Trek Discovery show. I do Orville reviews. I do unboxings. I got all kinds of fun stuff on this channel, and I'm starting to kind of distill it into a unified voice on this channel. It looks like I'm going to be doing a giveaway as we get closer to 500 subscribers. So go ahead and get subscribed now, and I'm going to announce that contest soon. Yeah, I am Average Joe, the Average Geek. Thank you all very much for watching, and we will speak again very, very soon. Have a good one. Peace!